cease to be speaking. I don't know whether it's on now in Iguacha. Your complaints have reached to the responsible, and something is being done about it if it's not live already. So that is for sure. So let me go on. IPOB press release of 14th of February 2024. Imo State Police Command aware of attackers at Okigwe Correctional Center. IPOB ESN not responsible. The global family and movement of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, ably led by the great prophet and liberator Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu, condemned the atrocious activity of the Nigerian police at Okigwe Correctional Farm Center. And we also debunk the fallacious and fabricated media blackmail from the Nigeria Police Imo Command, accusing IPOB ESN operatives as behind the attack at the correctional facility in Okigwe, Imo State. IPOB ESN was never responsible for the attack on the facility or any attack at Okigwe, Imo State. It is pathetic on the side of the Imo State Police Command, who is most of the time in bed with the rampaging criminals in Imo State. Imo State Police is aware of those behind the alleged attacks at Okigwe Correctional Center. But because there is an agenda to blackmail IPOB ESN, they had to pin the attack on IPOB. If Nigeria Police has the ability to pin attacks on IPOB and ESN within minutes of something happening without investigation, why do we still have cases of unresolved high-profile killings in Nigeria? That is a very big, $1 million question. We want the public to understand that the Nigeria government and her murderous Nigeria police would have masterminded the alleged attacks at the Okigwe Corrections or Correctional Center just to blackmail IPOB ESN, to free some of the arrested criminal infiltrators that may expose their conspiracy against IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just at the same time, Imo State Police Command masterminded the Owerri, just as the Imo State Police Command masterminded the Owerri Correctional Facility attack in 2021 and blamed it on IPOB then. To date, no investigation report has been published on that attack. Similarly, the Nigerian military masterminded the attack of Abuja Suleja prison in 2022 in what can be referred to as a successful covert prison swap between Nigeria Army and Boko Haram terrorists. In all the so-called prison breaks that took place in Nigeria between 2021 and 2023, the Nigeria police never produced any forensic investigation reports. The reason is that the Nigerian government and her security forces are accomplices to almost all the jailbreaks in the contraption called Nigeria, in order to cover their covert operations with their recruited double agents in Finland and his criminal gangs. Nigeria police has to rush to the media to pin any attack, including the one at Okigwe Correctional Center, on IPOB without any investigation or evidence. The Nigerian government and their double agents are colluding to shop for evidence to charge our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in their ongoing kangaroo court trial. Let Nigerians not be deceived. No armed group can successfully carry out prison attacks and free only 7 inmates and prisoners without the collaboration of the government and her security agencies. They have selected those they wanted to free. Owerri and Suleja correctional facilities are fortified security areas that are impossible to carry a successful jailbreak without powerful security resistance. But the two prisons were attacked very smoothly and successfully without resistance. This latest alleged Okigwe prison attack and the successful release of 7 prisoners are surely masterminded by the Nigeria police. The public should not be fooled. The latest attack could either be one of the media blackmailing of IPOB, ESN, or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or both. But that is dead on arrival. They have, or they may have, carried out this break to free some arrested criminals and accomplices that may have the potential to blow up the government's covert operations. Whatever the case may be, IPOB, ESN, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have nothing to do with it. The double agent operating as IPOB member, which is criminal gangs operating in Okigwe communities in collision and clash with the Nigerian military, has met the innocent villagers of Umulolo, Ihube, Azo, and Arondizok to desert their communities because of military invasions of those communities. Both the agent provocateurs and the Nigerian military have destroyed many homes of people in Okigwe, thereby worsening the security situation in Okigwe and towns around it. Unfortunately, the Nigerian media, by either omission or commission, has refused to report the atrocities the DSS recruited criminal gangs called the Biafra Liberation Army under their agents and their collaborators in Nigeria may have done. It is the same situation that they have created at Osumohu, Uli, Ihiala, Ihitenansa, and other communities in LGAs of Imo State and Anambra State. IPOB is a responsible and freedom-fighting movement and only focuses on the restoration of Biafra. ESN operatives are after marauding Fulani kidnappers and terrorists in our bushes and forests. IPOB ESN operatives have never attacked any correctional facility or anybody in Okigwe LGA. ESN operatives do not engage Nigeria security forces nor attack any public infrastructures. Anytime IPOB decides to invoke violence and armed struggle into our current project, the world will hear it from us first. By then, all this cheap blackmail will no longer matter because we shall take responsibility for our actions. Therefore, the Nigerian government and her fantastically corrupt security agencies should stop their useless and baseless blackmail, which has yielded no results in many years for them. Comrade Emma Powerful, Media and Publicity Secretary for the indigenous people of Biafra. That is IPOB press release of today being the 14th day of February 2023. But as I said, let me go on to the topic of our discussions that will last for some time in future. The topic is this: continuous colonial legacy in Africa in general and in Nigeria in particular. I will continue, or I will start by playing a clip, which maybe some of you must have listened to it, but I want to replay it for you and make some analysis for you to also understand some things, please. This is from one of our brothers, Mayegu. This a Yoruba activist, I should say, which many of you would know. Let me start because I want you to listen attentively. As I'm moving on, I will be analyzing more and more, please. But I will make it brief today because today is just the introduction and I will continue on it days and days and days, please. Because this is a very huge topic. And from there, we will also enter into this legacy of the Fulanization through Islamization and the gradual, process of Al-Majiri or Al-Majirin everybody, every Nigerian, including our people, by a government that gives out palliative. Any day I will discuss this, I'll bring in some people for us to discuss about it. But today, as I say, let me make this introduction. Please listen. Listen. Because you know why we are doing this. Let me repeat it. The principal critical job that should have been done by the former so-called freedom fighters, but they are, flag independent fighters. The critical job that should have been done, that should have accompanied that freedom fighting as of that time, was not done. You know what is that? Education, impacting of knowledge, in order to make people understand, to make people understand what real independence means, to educate people on why we should be on our own, on why we should not be influenced by foreigners. But lo and behold, the reverse is the case. And that is why the first African independence, the first time, 1950s, 60s, and 70s, fell woefully. I say complete woefully, because it was not accompanied with education. And that is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started this struggle by instituting Radio Biafra, where we preach the real gospel. That is why restoration of Biafra remains the hardest job on this earth. Because we want genuine freedom, genuine independence. If we want to only flag independence, okay, oh, it would have been done for so long ago. But we want to liberate ourselves completely. That is why different sectors are on the move. Mental liberation, physical liberation, educational, every facet of liberation, every facet of life, we liberate ourselves so that we can be able to earn our respect, our stand in this planet Earth, without being, proselytes, people follow people, watchers in this world, the people that are clapping, you go spectators. We want to also be players in this world. That is why Biafra restoration remains the hardest job, as it was confirmed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It remains the hardest job, because we don't want to get our independence or freedom in their terms. In their terms. We want to restore Biafra in our own terms. It doesn't matter what we shall suffer. It doesn't matter what we are suffering, but we remain in our own terms. And after the rain, the sun will shine. Please listen. But remember, Tata Bobo Chafu, the 14th day of February 2024, we are talking on the continuous colonial legacy in Africa in general and in Nigeria in particular. Listen to this clip, please. Listen.
Chinedu and all these names, for all these people, these pseudonames, Tif Chinedu, and all these names, all these people. It was so very interesting. I also admire your intelligence, the way you analyze issue. I'm a Pan-Africanist, so I really love when I see brilliant Africans making analysis on things that affect their country. So that's why I've been following you. I try calling in, and it's very difficult to get in. So tonight, when you have this StreamYard link, I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity. And I'm so lucky to be the last person to speak as well. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Yes. Yeah. So I may not be a Nigerian, but I'm not a stranger to Nigeria. Let me first of all give a background of who I am so people understand what I'm going to
Listen,
say
please.
and why I'm saying it. I immigrated to Nigeria in the year 2000. I was 15 years old. Obasanjo just took over in 1999, a year after that, before I arrived. I did my primary school in Nigeria, secondary school, wrote my WAEC in Nigeria. I went to New Horizons College in Niger State, Mina. I live in the Middle Belt. I've been to Kwara State many times. I speak Hausa very well. So I'm a half Nigerian, I will say, because I live in that country for more than 10 years. And I spend most part of my life there, and I have friends, family up till now in Nigeria. So
Listen, this man is a Liberian, and he is, according to his introduction, he's a caller. He was a caller anyway on the program. He is a Pan-Africanist. As time goes, I will bring in where he contradicted himself also. He made many senses. But please listen. Please, I want you to listen attentively. Don't again, Allah, please, to what this young man is going to say. Please continue listening.
So if you wrote common entrance and you wrote WAEC, you should know Nigerian history. You should know the politics. And me being a Pan-Africanist, I have followed through most of the political activities in Nigeria. So that's what gave me, just to give you a background of who I am, so that I will be able to make analysis on the ongoing issues in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Please.
Yeah. So I tried learning Yoruba, but I did not. I speak Hausa perfectly, because when you live in the north, Hausa is the common language there. So next to it, because I live in the Middle Belt, close to Kwara State, so you have Yoruba language, but the Kwara people, sometimes some of them speak Hausa as well. So my Yoruba is not good. So what I want to speak here tonight, Mayagun, the issue of Nigeria. Nigeria, I'm from Liberia, by the way. The name of my country is Liberia. And if you know Liberia, Nigeria helped us in the 90s when we had civil war in our country. Liberia was falling apart. We fought civil war, from 1999 down to 2003, and Nigerian forces helped quench the civil war in Liberia. So Nigeria was the hope of the continent, the giant of Africa, the country we all look up to and say, one day in the future, this is going to be our China.
He said Nigeria was, past tense, it was the hope, not is. It was. Continue listening.
This is going to be our United States. If Nigeria succeeds, Africa succeeds. Every African, especially if you live in West Africa area, I'm not talking about regular people or people who really analyze issues, you will know that Nigeria was the hope of the continent. But unfortunately, in the last 10 years, we've seen Nigeria going down the drain. We've seen Nigeria promising future now becoming dashed, and we've seen that it seems that there's no hope. So when people are making a lot of analysis, I come in and tell them that this is my own understanding. The problem in Nigeria is a summary of what is happening in all of African countries, which is number one, the way we got independence, the institutions that we inherited were not decolonized.
Do you hear this young man? Very crisp, crystal clear, that the institutions being inherited by Africans were never decolonized. If you can understand this, every time I used to compare colonization of Africa with that of Asia countries, including India, most especially, because India was also colonized. And the worst part of it is that India was made a very big giant zoo. Just like they created Nigeria. The Europeans went to India and divided India into Francophone India, Anglophone India, Portugueseophone India, Lusophone India, Spanish India, a people divided into pieces, and they amalgamated the unamalgamable. I want people, please listen clear. I said today is only going to be introduction because I will pieces of this topic in a way you should understand it, down to earth. But today is going to be introduction. So I will touch many places. Now, as time goes on, I'll be picking it one after the other. Now, before India got their independence in 1947, they asked relevant questions. Are you understanding me? Because they read the future. Are you hearing me? There is a question that was asked: who is an Indian? And very, very fortunately, or as you might not even think, that question was raised by an Indian Muslim from the place today that is Pakistan. Are you hearing me? You know why I admire them is that they have audacity. You know, you might misunderstand me, I don't care. But that is the way it is. I admire the Muslims because they have audacity. The same way Ahmad Bello promptly, boldly told the British that, look, this Nigeria you are creating, we don't care. We are the Emirate, Fulani Emirate. We are not part of these people. You are joining us together as one country. On what basis? We are not compatible in our tradition, in our religion, in the food we eat, in the languages. We don't even know them. We don't understand them. So why will you amalgamate us? So we are not part of Nigeria. Britain pushed on and they say, okay, we can only be the part of this your creation only if we will be in charge. As they are talking about molding the future, you are very primitive minded, only myopic. Nnamdi Azikiwe, as an Igbo man, is busy. Say, thinking that anything this man say, let us agree so that ndị apụrụ anyị ndị ọcha hapụgodoro anyị maka anyị ga-esi mee ya. Because Igbo man, nothing mega, maka esi eme ya always. It doesn't calculate the backfiring. But these people, the Indians, they asked questions before their independence. You say all of us are gallivanting. Free India, free India. Let us ask, who is an Indian first? I am a Muslim, you are a Hindu. Are we equal Indians before we even talk about forming a country? We have a Francophone India. How Indian are they? Are they going to be separate countries? These are questions being raised by reasonable, awakened mindsets. Not asking for flag independence. The same way, let me tell you, because there are some narrow-minded people, individuals, everywhere. They abound, even in this struggle. That is why when we are asking questions, when we are probing, entering into the mindset, the mentalities of people, of our people in religion, they will be asking, no, you are going to, don't go there. You are going to bring confusion. No, I cannot, for goodness sake, I cannot understand it. Either we become independent or we are not. We continue in this zoo. I am telling you honestly. If there are places that are ungoable, don't go there. Now, why are we troubling ourselves, suffering for nothing? For us to be so-called having flag independence, only physical, whereas everything is at the background, controlled by our detractors. Is that what you want? They didn't tell that. Why I forgot the name of this man that raised the question. I will bring it out another day. Because I've talked about him even here on this Radio Biafra. He's a Muslim. He said, Mahatma Gandhi, you want India. Oh, you are a very good man. You are doing great. But who is an Indian? This is a question that should be answered by each and every one of us. That question started with both mental and physical revolution before independence. It resonated in the mindset of every Indian. That question brought the confusion which you as an Igbo man, as a Biafran, is trying to avoid. You want to eat your cake and have it. That question, that simple question, led to the displacement, the rearrangement of India, the displacement of more than 20 million people, the highest recorded displacement of people in recorded history, and the death of more than 2 million Indians. Do you hear that? Only that question. But if it is you, say, no, don't ask. Don't ask. Can I want to go to Biafra? Can I want to go to India first? Don't ask that question. All of us are Biafra. No, they don't want it like that. That is how you know a people that are really there for genuine independence, not lingering colonization, lingering on in our daily lives, which we are seeing today, still fighting continuous colonial legacy in Africa because you don't want to face the reality. No, don't talk about religion. Hey, you will offend some people. Chineke, and we are fighting for freedom. Is that what you mean? Oh, you are going to cause confusion. But I say India fought internal wars, crises that led to the death of more than 2 million people before their independence. Do you know that? And the displacement of more than 20 million of them, million Indians. Some people left their land, their ancestral land, and relocated to the other side because they were Muslims in a mostly Hindu areas. They have to leave because they know it's not safe. Do you know what is genuine liberation? No. Most of us even don't know what is genuine liberation. We talked that it is another, raise a flag and we are done. No. Genuine liberation, it brings problems and confusions, but at the end of the tunnel, there is light. America had genuine liberation. they wanted to eat their cake and have it too, for your information. But the problem lingered. America problem lingered for almost 100 years. And it resulted in a full-blown civil war. Are you hearing me? They said no. They say now we have to fight war in order for us to liberate ourselves completely. Because this woman, every time, that is the reality. This war you don't want to fight now, no bloodshed now. You are postponing it till tomorrow. Are you hearing me? It might not be palatable to you, but that is the reality. What we owe you here, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say, any day here on Radio Biafra, we start telling you what will make you happy, but it is lies that even we will die. He said, any person that handle this microphone here on this Hello platform, start now massage so that it will make people happy. Whereas it is lie, without exposing the truth. I am telling you, there is a curse. It's a curse, not only him, but to his generation. That is why we do it. We say it the way it is. So that you choose whether it is the bitter truth or the sweet lies, which tomorrow you will also start facing the reality. You understand? That is it. So, what am I trying to say? India asked questions, and it led to confusions, it led to crises, it led to killings, it led to internal wars, religious war, ethnic war, people leaving their ancestral land to run to the other side. Imagine what I will give you the example of, like northern Christians, non-Muslims, many of them, most of them running away, leaving their ancestral lands in Castina, in Bauchi, and coming to establish in the south, mostly in Biafra land. You know what it means? So that their generations will be known as Biafrans. Do you know what it means to leave your ancestral land? We had a very umbilical cord. Indians did it. For the sake of what? Complete independence. Genuine and true independence. You understand? Without, they don't want any colonial, any colonial colonial legacy in their lives. They don't want it. And you know what? All those borders in India, which some part of India we are now speaking French. They call their brothers, oh, you are Anglophone. Others say, no, you are Portuguese. The same way they did in Africa. Whereas a Yoruba from Togo, the same blood, the same person, will be calling his brother from Nigeria, you are Anglophone. And this person, the same Yoruba, will be calling his brother in Benin Republic, Francophone. The Indians, they did away with it. They removed all those borders. European created borders. Are you hearing me? When you ask question, oh, why is it that even Indians they were colonized, but they are doing well? India has a nuclear weapon today. You know that. Even Pakistan, two countries that were amalgamated together by their colonizers. The answer is in the details. The devil is in the details. What they did, can you do that? Only decolonizing our people from, religious mentality. You see some people clamoring again. No, you got to get confusion. Now, see, restoring agitation for Biafra is already a confusion. Don't you know that? I used to say this. So let me continue, please, because as I said, today is just introduction to this topic. It's a very huge topic. Now, Indians, they did away with anything, the colonial legacy in their land, including land borders, everything, religion, everything, and that is why they are progressing today. That is why when you have you want a transplant, kidney transplant, you fly to India. That's why they are productive today, because they didn't imbibe they didn't retain any colonial, even English. You see them, any Indian that speaks English, you see how their Hindi intonation is there. You will be laughing, but he's a genius. Because they went back to themselves. Religion-wise, they say, they use F word on the European religion. Are you hearing me? So that is what they did. Can you do that? Answer. It's a rhetorical question. Answer it by yourself. So let us continue. Continue listening, please.
It's like the colonial masters made a deal with people we call freedom fighters, and they replaced them. They just replaced the white Oyibo with our black brother who continue the colonial legacy. And I will give you an example. Your police is a typical colonial police. During the colonial era, the police was meant to protect the colonial elites. The police was there to beat up the people, subdue them, and terrorize them to protect the colonial masters.
Are you hearing? This is simple, just a simple analysis of what is happening in the zoo. When you see people, a politician will give order to the police, go and shoot the people, and they carry gun, go and shoot their comrade, their fellow citizens, for doing what is their fundamental human right, protesting or anything. Or when they see you on the road, just because you cannot provide 100 naira as a bribe, they will shoot you and say nothing will happen, because they are on the protection of their masters. The Europeans replaced, they didn't go. They just replaced with their what they say, white what they say, with black what they say, which you are calling governor today. Are you hearing me? The police They are there to protect the elites, the political elites, because it was something inherited from the colonial masters. If you talk during the colonial days, they will send the police and military in order to come and kill and burn everywhere, so that to institute fear, for you to fear the colonial masters. Is it not what Nigerian police is doing today? Do they care for the people? Only that's why everybody carry arms, gun, big, not small, big guns. And you think that there will be security? No way. All of them carry guns to inflict fear on the people in order to fear those that are on top. The politicians. Instead of now politicians serving the people are serving the politicians. Just like a feudal system. That is it. The legacy of colonialism in Africa in general and in Nigeria in particular. Please continue listening.
That's what the African police do now. That's what the Nigerian police does. The elite of the colonial era, they were bourgeoisie who lived in Africa, but then their real home is London. Their hospital is Paris. When the colonial masters get sick, they take them to Lisbon, they take them to Paris, they take them abroad to go to get treated in the what they call the metropole. And the Africa was the farm, was the place they work, was where is where you extract the natural resources. The London is where you go to enjoy it.
Are you hearing him? Is it not what is happening? During the colonial days, when white Wadisi was in our land physically, when they were ruling our land direct, Africa is their working place. When they have a holiday, they go back to Lisbon, they go back to Paris, they go back to London in order to enjoy. When they are sick, they don't dare treat them. They fly them immediately back to Europe. Is it not what is happening today by those that replace them, those that you call your political elites, your presidents, your governors, your senators, your politicians? Is it not what is happening? Do they get treatment in Nigeria? And you say you are free. Oh, we are independent. Come on. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said one time, he said he met a Liberian or a Sierra Leonean friend, a Sierra Leonean man, which they had appointment in a coffee shop. And when they are seated down, they never know each other. He said the man asked him, "Are you a professor?" He said, "No." Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told him, "No." He said, "Are you a doctor?" He said, "No." "I mean PhD, academic doctor." He said, "No." He said, "Okay, you are welcome." He shook him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, "But why are you asking me this?" He said, "If I see any black African man in front of me, start introducing himself, I am doctor, that is PhD doctor, academic doctor, I am professor this." He said he will punch him on the face direct without warning. And after they will cop the cops for him. And he will now explain that this monkey is not supposed to answer all these big titles because it's not meant for him. Because you are not what you purport yourself to be. Are you hearing me? So, what is the difference? The colonial masters, when they were around, they look at Africa as a farmland where they come and work, do their working, gather their money, and bank it in their land in Europe. If they are sick by any means, malaria or any type of sickness, they fly them immediately. They fly them to London. Are you hearing me? To Germany, to where they come from, for treatment. Is it not what your presidents are doing? Is it not what your senators are doing? Is it not what your political class are doing today in that so-called Nigeria? Now tell me, are you independent? They replaced, that is the colonial legacy. They replaced the white men with the people that you are seeing today as political class. They bank all their money, which they steal. They bank it in London, bank it in Germany, bank it in Europe, in America. Are you hearing me? In Dubai, and buy houses for them to enjoy. Where they go with their family, they put their family there for enjoyment. The same way the colonial masters did. Now tell me, are you free? Tell me, African man hearing my voice, are you free? Continue listening to this very bright man.
Our elite are following the same pattern. The educational institutions were designed to make the colonial masters to look like saviors and tell the people who have been exploited to appear as if they are being indebted.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing him? The educational system, we are modeled the way for the colonial masters, or for the people, for Africans to see the colonial masters as saviors. Oh, they brought education for us. Oh, without them, we will not be civilized. That is the type of education, the type of propaganda that they use in your head. And they still working to today. Oh, our ancestors, they are bad people. If not white people, we should be still living in the bush. Maybe in the comment section in some platforms that are streaming my voice, you will see some people that will be writing, yes, man. That is what they want. And that is how, that is how the colonial masters modeled everything. To teach us that Mongo Park discovered River Niger. And you'll be thankful for them. That's why you name Iguacha Port Harcourt a rapist, a killer of our people. Because you feel that without them, we will not develop. Do you see the educational system they brought to us? Is it not still what we are still upholding? You name our place, the streets in our land, Wedra Road. Is it not the same thing? Wedra Road, Douglas Road, Douglas House. The names, when you research about these people, you see you're supposed to even match their names to hell. But we embrace them. That is the education they brought to us. Are you hearing me? I said today is introduction. The main dish is coming in all these days, including even Saturdays, because this is a very vast topic. Continue listening to this bright man, please.
They have to be grateful to the colonial masters for giving them education. Why that education was actually
the same way you are saying, okay, if you want us to go back to our root, you are using what a Yibo man produce. Why are you using telephone? Throw telephone now. That is the type of education what the colonial masters have infused in us. The type of education making us to embrace our killers that they are our saviors. Are you hearing it? Continue listening, please.
Actually a miseducation. If you watch our education today, to appear as if they are being indebted, they have to be grateful to the colonial masters for giving them education. Why that education was actually a miseducation. If you watch our education today, it followed the same pattern. The religion was created to pacify the public in order for them not to stage a revolution. The colonialism.
Are you listening? Let me just touch about religion. These I will separate them as time goes on. But as the introduction, I will touch everywhere. Now, he talk about religion. That religion, the colonial masters put religion. They use religion to pacify the people. To make the people have a fake hope that all is well. Let me read just a letter, the news headline of 11th February 2024. It says in Vanguard, Nigeria needs urgent spiritual help in economic hardship by Pastor Adeboye. It needs spiritual help. If you read the body, the details. He said the general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adejere Adebayo, said Nigeria needs urgent spiritual help to overcome the challenges confronting the nation. Are you seeing? To make the people, to pacify the people. Pacification, so that they cannot rise up in rebellion, in revolution. They believe that, make them believe that, look, the problem is not we that are politicians. There is one extra force that is hampering, that is making things to be costly, that is hampering road walking. You know, there was one time during the time of Okorocha, he said that rain that is falling in Imo State, it has acid. It's acidic rain that tears road into pieces. And people clapped and laughed. But the people they don't ask, pertinent questions. How are you building the road? You will go and use mud, cover it, now use just very thin, if not only just black paint, bitumen, just black, anything very thin, and spray on top. And collect billions, sign off billions and billions. And once it is being painted, Nigerians will be clapping. Hey, this governor is trying, Now, this man, he nailed it. He said their religion, the colonial religion, is meant to pacify people, to remove the mindset of people from the reality on ground, not to hold the human being, the politicians, responsible. You know what is happening? I confirm it, Pastor Adeba, you said it, that Nigeria needs spiritual help. That the problem is not there's a place, I read it. Let me quickly glance through. The pastor spoke in Kaduna on Sunday while, according to Adebayo, the challenges facing the country were more than political, but problems that need spiritual solutions. Oh, Chineke. Amanum dina say ayekuna uku religion. Don't talk, please. I don't know. I don't know what they want, please. Is this what we are going to allow? He said that the problem in Nigeria is more than politicians. It needs spiritual. So that people now will start, even clapping for politicians. Now they are trying even. This is a spiritual problem. So we make them continue praying. Focus more on faith and prayers instead of doing the doings physically. You see, I said today is an introduction. I will pick all these things as a subtopic upon topic in order to go more deeper. Today is introduction, please. Let us continue. It's what is playing in our land. They tell them in mosques, they teach them in the north that, the problem you are having is not physical, it's Allah. Go out because you are sinners. You sin. That's why Allah is punishing you with meningitis. It was the governor of Kanu State that said this. When there was, I think, meningitis outbreak, spinal meningitis outbreak. He said, a governor spoke. He said, no, because of our sin, that's why God is punishing us. And the people started shouting, oh, lie, 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 oh, lie, 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 lie. That is the colonial legacies in our land, in our lives today, being returned completely. The only thing they did was to make sure to negotiate for the white people, the Europeans, to physically vacate. But their shadows, everything they lay in place in Africa remain. Everything remains. And how do you think that we are going to succeed? Do you see the reason why we are completely trying to obliterate anything, any colonial legacy, even in our brain, including everything? Are you seeing it? Do you see the reason why Biafra restoration is very difficult? It is difficult but not impossible. Are you hearing it? Let us move on, please. Continue listening.
We're in bed with the religious masters. They tell the people to calm down. In fact, our traditional rulers, some of them were compromised. Those of them who refused to compromise were removed from their throne. If you compromise with the colonial system, then you remain on your throne. Today is the same thing. Our traditional leader have to compromise with the men in Abuja, the unknown forces in Abuja, in the capital. They have to connive with them to destroy your destiny. Now, all I'm saying here is that the colonial system continues, but it has just changed face. It just have a black face on it.
The colonial system continues, only that it changed the face. They use black face now instead of the white face you'll be seeing as noting them that they are foreigners. Are you understanding it? Now they change face. Tell me, how do you think that foreigners will bring you something that is good for you free of charge? This is a very pertinent question that you should be asking yourself. They replace their own presence with the people you are seeing today as democratically elected presidents and governments in Africa, including in the zoo called Nigeria. And you are clapping, you are free. No. You are just living the continuous legacy of colonialism. That is why we are suffering. And that is what we want to remove, the shackles of this colonialism in our lives. Are you hearing me? Continue listening.
So I say this to tell you, when people say, let's divide Nigeria, let's break up the country.
He says something which also later, don't mind what he said here. Later he will contradict himself. I will tell you where he came to his senses, because many of them believe, I've preached about genuine Pan-Africanism in this platform, and one day I will also touch it. Many of them thought that, listen to what he's going to say. Many of these so-called Pan-Africanists thought that, Pan-Africanism is when the whole of Africa countries now become one country, which is impossible in this world, impossible in the world to come, impossible in the thereafter. It's impossible. Is Europe at peace? The answer is yes. Is Europe pan-Europe? Is there pan-Europeanism? The answer is yes. Do they have countries, different countries? The answer is yes. Do they separate from Iceland? Separated from, I think, Norway or Sweden some time ago. Iceland have a population of 370,000 people. Not million, 370,000 people. But are they living well? The answer is yes. You still have Africans that are seeking asylum in Little Iceland that separated themselves from, I think, Norway or Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. Are you hearing it? You have very little countries that separated in order, because of through ethnic lines, so that they want to continue living their life as themselves, not borrowed lives. Are you hearing me? Any country or any continent, you are imposing people to live fake life, to live like borrowed life, just like they are doing to us Biafrans. For us to live like as Nigerians, which Britain created for us to live a Nigerian. Our eternal leader Ojukwu, we have said it, that as Biafrans we have tried all we could in order to live as Nigerians, which Britain created. But we can't do it. How can you be living fake life? How? It's just like, for example, you are in the midst of strangers, let me say concussions. And they bring heavy apple serving everybody. Only you is an Igbo man there. They bring apple with a akataka, a goosey soup, steaming, with orishirishi inside. And as other white people that are not indigenous, that don't know how to even eat the thing, to swallow, they serve them, they bring knife, fork and spoon each for everybody, and they give to you. And because you are in their midst, you now be using knife and spoon to cut the akpo and carry it in the spoon to put into the soup. I don't know. If you are a genuine Igbo man that grew up in the village, you can't do it. If you try, you are lying to yourself. More, I cannot do it. That is I'm now village. If you are doing it because you are in the midst of foreigners that they should, before they say, now this one they use handle, you are living a fake life. That is an example of living fake life. You will not even enjoy the food. Do you know that? I want people to understand the point I'm trying to make. The type of life they put us in Nigeria. You live in fake life. Oh, Nigeria. It's a fake life. My brother, if you try it using spoon and fork to his knife in order to satisfy those that are watching, those that they are saying, hey, what is this? Let us test it. They use knife, and you also follow use knife. You are living fake life. As one for what I will do once they bring a spoon, I say I will use F word on the spoon and all the I will say. But 10 minutes, come there waiting. Which kind thing be this? Am I okay? All of them will be watching now, will be mold like this. Like when you are eating, you will now you know you will be enjoying it because you are living your life, not fake life. But when you take, they are doing using spoon. You too, you are doing. That only use jacket. No, that is fake life. It is what they put in the way we are living in Nigeria. You'll be eating, but you'll not be enjoying it. Are you hearing me? So continue listening, please.
Let's have a Yoruba nation. Let's have a Igbo nation. As a Pan-Africanist, I'm sad because our philosophy was to create a black United States of Africa.
But it's impossible. Here I disagree. But you will see, and I will play. You will see where he even corrected himself. Remark here, and now you see where I will pause and tell you that he himself recognized that he made mistake. Continue listening, please, because many of them ignorantly believe that Pan-Africanism is having a United States of Africa. Where can you? It's not. Before you have genuine Pan-Africanism, you must have respect for each and every tribe, nation. You understand? Now, people will live their life, not you living fake life or forcing another life on people. And you want to have unity? It's impossible. It's completely impossible. That is why Europe, they are awakened the people. They made sure that nobody forces their lifestyle on others. You want to go. Anywhere you see in Europe where they have different tribes living together as one country, like in Switzerland, the Walloons and is it the German speaking and the French speaking. They have very loose confederation. I say very loose, so that if tomorrow any one of them rise up and say we don't want to be part of Switzerland, we want to, they will do feast for them and do send off happily. The same way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we are going to have states, nation states, Biafra as nation states, whereby we go back to our tribe. That thing you think that is evil, that is a primitive. No, we go back to it. We are Igbo nation in Biafra, Ijo nation of Biafra, Urobo nation. You will be proud to know yourself as who you are. Igala nation of Biafra. You see that? Now, tell me, who is going to be accused of tribalism? Whereas you make laws, your own laws, in your own dialect, in your own language. Tell me who is going to be accused of discrimination or anything. What we bind us is only our legal tender, that is money and this thing. I mean, the military, of which each and every one of our nations, which you call tribe, we have their own laws, have their own systems of government. Any day, for example, one nation of Biafra say, no, we are done. We want to go and become a complete state, complete country of our own. The only thing we do is this. We ask, is it majority? Is it what you people decide to do? Now go to referendum. If you vote yes, if they go to referendum and the majority carries the vote, we will organize Biafra National Festival, send-off festival to our brothers and sisters that want to now become a complete nation of their own. And we are still brothers. They are, we will eat and dance, and that is how it should be. By that time, we have respect, individual respect. We respect each other. I used to ask, is Singapore fighting with Malaysia today? The answer is no. Are they best of friends? The answer is yes. Are they in healthy competition? The answer is yes. Then why are you demonizing living our lives, being who we are? Instead, you are imposing, no, we want Nigeria. We have to remain Nigeria. There is strength in diversity, which is far, 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 far fake. Fake. What they use in holding us down. Please, let us learn. Continue listening, please.
So when we see now that a country like Nigeria cannot survive, that means that our theory has been debunked. But here is what we tell people. It doesn't matter if you divide Nigeria today into 7 countries. The same elite who are in bed with London, who are in bed with these forces in Europe, they will be the same elite who will take over this country. Example, South Sudan and Sudan.
That is, I totally disagree with our brother. He's brilliant, but here he got it wrong. They give you examples of places that they see as he didn't succeed or he never succeeded, but they never give you examples of places that succeeded, that everything is okay. that is one myopism they all suffer. You understand? But this our brother, he will correct it. I will show he himself will correct it with his own mouth. You understand? So don't mind what he said. It is, I totally disagree. You understand me? With our genuine independence, our enemies, foreign enemies, they will want us to fail. That is why they will activate their agents to the maximum in order to try to destabilize Biafra land using one thing or the other, even including religion. Do you see why we are trying to disintoxicate ourselves so that we become original? So that no foreigner can have effect, can use anything to have effect on us. And you understand? Including religious sentiment. If you come, he say, nah, nah, dronon nari, onyo choma, ihe we dronon nari. I was thinking, no, you sin, no, I want to commit that sin. That is where I'm born. Inside that sin, that thing you call sin. Your own is not sin. Instead, we name our city Port Harcourt. I mean, a city. Our killer, we embrace him. So, you see, he will have no place to follow. Now he comes to know the democracy. We use our own traditional system. Our original democracy will come out. Now we proudly answer Igbo man. I'm from Igbo tribe of Biafra. You feel it in paper. Something that is being done, but you see it as a taboo. But in reality, it is being done for discrimination. But now you will have the audacity to answer an Urobo man, Urobo Urobo tribe of Biafra. Do you see Urobo nation of Biafra? And a John nation of Biafra. Igbo nation of Biafra. How sweet it will be to be original. Now we fathom our system. We can call our head of state or our president, or we can name him anything. It can be Igwe. You understand? It can be Igwe. It can be anything. In our under something that if we even confuse the Oyibo, they will not know how we will function. Instead, they will be even when we work and we function, they will even be trying to come to learn our system. Do you see that? How do you think that they will have influence? If they come using religion, majority of us now, you say no. Though I am a member of Anglican, but it doesn't have any effect on me. My brother is my brother. No person in my land is unbeliever. Please, there is no unbeliever. There is no outcast. All of us are the same. No person can use anything to. You say no. No matter that I'm going to church, but I have my king in the house, so it's my thing. We are doing. We are doing our thing. Oyibo now we come and start learning from you. Now, what is Ikenga? You start proudly be explaining to the person. He will not understand it. They will not have no place to penetrate. Do you see what we are doing is just to fill up any loopholes that they will try to use to penetrate. Because when we restore our land, look, they will use anything. Anyhow, no place to penetrate. Do you see what we are doing is just to fill up any loopholes that they will try to use to penetrate. Because when we restore our land, look, they will use anything, no sentiment. Now continue listening to this, our brother, please.
South Sudan become better after they broke out from Sudan? I don't think so. Many countries are broken up in Africa after independence, but it was the same elite who were transported to the new country. The main people who wanted actual freedom were killed, were removed. Those who wanted real transformation.
You know, when like what our brother is saying, which I totally disagree this point. When you have in a nation, you have, for example, 80% of awakened mind. If you kill one awakened mind, there are millions of others waiting. Are you understanding me? If, like, for example, if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there, does it spell the end of IPOB? Are we not moving on? Because we have been trained. That is how it is. But when you have only 1 in a million of awakened mind, he becomes a total minority. The voice will not, people, you know, in a country of liars, any person that speaks the truth becomes a victim. Because it's a place of liars. So, but what we are trying to do is to raise majority as awaken the mindset, so that when the forces from outside, when they come, they thought that they have destroyed this one, others will pop up there automatically. The same message, the same vision. Not when he kill, maybe out of 1 in a million, they kill the awakened mind, and others, they will impose other nonsense to them, and they will accept it. No. When they realize that, if they remove Mazi Chinedu, other Biafrans have caught fire. Other people are even more radical, more researchful, making researches than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There are people that are even now more awakened than. Now, what will they do? They know that their mission is failed. They will start negotiating as equal people. That now these people, they shake us, and now welcome to the land on board of awakened society. Now they will start dealing with you with respect, because they will know more. Who are they going to impose? Any person they are going to replace. All are the same thing. All are the same thing. Talking the same language, speaking the same language, the same vision. Now, what will the West do? They'll say, "Oh boy, there is nothing other than, to negotiate, to work with these people as equal, as equal." The same way France tried to lure Mali. Say, no, come now. We are sorry for treating you before, but we are going to treat you now like human beings. And the military boy say, come on, so now you know. So before you know, you are treating us like subhumans, like animals. Say, you are gone. We are done with you forever. Do you understand that? That is awakened minds. But if they scavenge and see another useless Neanderthal that is ready to be used in order to, just like they use Blaise Compaoré to stop to kill Thomas Sankara in the 80s, 1985. Today they have been scavenging in order to kill these boys also, this young man in Burkina Faso. No way. When you see that most of the people now are awakened mindset, any person the foreigners call on now, we will sponsor you so that you go there and do and scavenge our interest. They say, what? Are you want me to betray my country? They will run. They'll say, no, we never talk to you. Pretend as if we never have this conversation. They call Mr. Okeke. You're a holder of American passport. We are good to you. Say yes. We are ready to do anything with you. But we want you to go there, represent our interests. We will so anything about money, don't forget about it. Publicity, forget about it. We will help you with the Washington Post. We will upgrade you with CNN. The man will say, come on, is it because I'm holding your passport? Now I'm a Biafran. I reject your passport. I am no more interested. Please go. They will say, okay, sorry, pretend that this conversation never happened, okay? When they try all and they see nobody, what would they do? They will shake their head and say, oh boy, these people don't wake, Mugu don't wise. Let us be bold enough to go and work with them as equal partners. That is how it is. That is why it is necessary for this education that is going on Radio Biafra. Are you seeing reason with it? No, don't touch that. You are going to make some people annoyed. They are going to come up from IPOBO because you are postponing our pains. You are putting it into another level due to ignorance. It's what Azikiwe did. Now leave this, let them go first. And after we know how to maneuver, we will make a law that will be, the law will take precedence over every other thing. Now, I used to ask, how are you going to make that law? With a different mindset. Everybody, this one focusing on east, the other one focusing on west, the other one focus on south, the other one focus on north. How are you going to come together in order to make a viable law that will represent the interests of the country? It is easier said than done. No, Mazi Jonathan, leave it until Biafra comes. Now, Biafra law will take charge. Tell me, ask the person, because I always say the devil is in the details. How are you going to make that law? How are you going to come together in order to make that law? Whereas you have different interests with different people that are manipulating each and every one of you differently with different sentiments and emotions. How are you going to make that law? That is the big question, please. Unless you want us to be lying to ourselves. Of which here, if I thought that is how it is. We shouldn't lie to ourselves, and we never lie to ourselves. We will tell ourselves the bitter truth, and that is what we are doing here. Let us continue, please.
Information were replaced with the bourgeoisie. Then the second thing I want to say, the internal forces that are working in African countries are against the people. If you look at Nigeria very well today, you can determine the future of Nigeria by looking at the forces that are controlling Nigeria. What are these internal forces? One, the religious group. I grew up in northern Nigeria. I went to school there. I was born a Muslim. I studied the Quran. If you have been to Niger State, Mina, if you know the institution called RET, Islamic Education Trust in Mina, controlled by Sheikh Ahmed Lemu. Those are the people that brought me up. They gave me scholarship. I went to that school in New Horizons College. I graduated there. I learned the Quran. I was a Muslim until I started traveling, and I decided to put religion aside. What I saw in North...
You see, let me. He said he's born a Muslim. Even their tribe as a Mandingo, they are all Muslims. But when he started traveling and started opening eyes, that is, when you say opening eyes, mean awakening. Now he reduced religion, he relegated religion. As a Muslim, he said, no, I put religion aside. Therefore, as a Biafran, as an awakened soul, and you still hold religion, you are lying to yourself. Quote me anywhere. I say, quote me. You say you are no, I am awakened, and now I want us to restore genuine Biafra, and you are still holding religion. It doesn't matter who you are lying to yourself. There is something you are not telling, there is something you are hiding. Are you hearing me? This man said he confirmed as a Muslim, a very practicing Muslim, trained in Nigeria. He went to Islamic school on scholarship. He said it here. But when his eyes become open on realities facing Africa, he have to put religion down. If you never do it, say, oh, hell, Biafra. No, but don't touch this side, though. This side, it's my belief. Don't go. No, you are completely lying to yourself. You want us to have a country like Nigeria, where we'll be in a quagmire, in a messy situation. Anything that no, touch not my. He's anointed man of God. Touch you. That is what you want us to have. Once you are awakened, the first thing you do is to relegate religion in your life. It doesn't, whether you are a Muslim, Christian, anything, you bring religion down, because religion is opposite of knowledge. Faith is opposite of knowledge. For your information, I used to say it. Faith is I don't know. Now knowledge is I know. Finish. QED. That is it. Whether you like it or not. This man confess it. You can never see awakened mindset talking like him. And after he go and take a mantle of religion, a religious zealot, it never happened. You can never serve two masters at a time. It's impossible. It's practically impossible. Unless you are lying to yourself. Let us continue, please.
Northern Nigeria is that these people were colonized twice. They were first colonized by the I graduated there. I learned the Quran. I was a Muslim until I started traveling, and I decided to put religion aside. What I saw in northern Nigeria is that these people were colonized twice. They were first colonized by the Sokoto Caliphate through the Islamic Revolution. They were still under that colonialism, then the British colonialism came. So they are not in alignment with you in the South. You don't understand. They are operating under two influence of colonial culture that they have inherited. One, they inherited an extreme version of Islam called Wahhabism, which even Saudi Arabia is trying to abolish. And
are you hearing it? The type of Islam, version of Islam being practiced in Nigeria is the archaic type, the most archaic type. That even where Islam originated, they are trying to abolish that type. It is what is being withheld in Nigeria. And do you know the reason? For them to allow them that zealotry in order to conquer everybody. Do you see it? In order to conquer everybody. Now they colonize everybody. Continue listening, please.
And embrace modernism, modernity. This northern Nigeria inherited an archaic, outdated Islamic view that came from Baghdad and Saudi Arabia those days. They inherited it. And it is very much entrenched in their culture. They do not believe in Nigeria as long as they are not on top. As long as Islam, though, for them,
They don't believe in Nigeria as long as they are not on top. Time I beg, time no there. I will bring these things piece by piece as days goes by, please. Go on listening. Let me rush it.
The vision for Nigeria is for Islam to triumph. That's the understanding for them.
The vision for Nigeria for them is for Islam to triumph. Can anybody doubt it? But our people are foolishly Nigeria. You don't know that the reason for their Nigeria is for Islam to triumph. And you know, as this man said that the Northerners, they are under the two influences, two colonial masters. First colonized by archaic Islam, now Britain come. You understand? And now they are trying their best in order to give us that two colonies, two colonial influences. We are colonized by Britain. Now they are trying to Islamize us or colonize us through Islamization. Do you see it? So that we will not be suffering one thing. Instead, we are suffering two things, like them. I'm telling you. Continue listening.
The destiny of Nigeria must lean toward Islamic revolution. That is the elite, the agenda. I'm not talking about the ordinary people on the street. They don't know what's going on. But the elite, that was the thinking of Usman Dan Fodio. That was the thinking of Sir Amadou Bello. That was the thinking of all this elite that came up. The design, when they took over the army, you don't understand why they influenced the army in Nigeria. Their vision is to lead what Islamic revolution. Now, for you guys in the South, you had only one colonialism, which is the European. That's why there are people, Chris, John, Johnson. When you are tired of European colonialism, you fall back to your culture.
When you are tired of European colonialism, of which it is what you are doing, you fall down to your culture. That is our defense. Our culture is our originality. Our culture is our defense. How do I explain this? I don't know. But I will touch it more another day. Do you see what we are doing? Do you see when the awakening comes, you see that you are suffering? What is the wind that is blowing today is the wind of awakening. And we are sick and tired. As we open eyes now, Africans, not only IPOB, all that African population, both the Christians and Muslims, they are now seeing that we have been duped. So, what is their defense? That is why people are now leaving even religious centers, going back to our roots. That is our defense. It's not rocket science. You were living fake life. Now, after a time, you found out that I am using spoon and fork and knife to eat fufu. Now, I'm suffering myself. Before you this and you throw away the spoon, bring miniaka plate. Wash your hands. Now to hell with all this. If I continue like this, I will even stain my clothes with a this spoon. No, you use your hand more the apple. That is your defense. You fall back to who you are. Are you hearing it? Let's continue. Go on listening.
They don't have no culture to fall back to.
Hey, the Northerners don't have no culture to fall to. That is why the culture they saw, for them, their culture is Islamic now. Because you know the reason. Don't blame them. It has been a long time. Are you understanding me? The Fulani, they first embraced Islam in 10th century, 9th to 10th century, more than 1,000 years back. How will you even know the remnants of your culture? You now take that religion as your culture. You don't have any other thing because you have gone. Generation upon generation upon generation upon generation. So you lost your culture. So now you take that foreign culture as yours. Are you understanding me? But the luck we have is that Christianity came to our land only less than 200 years back. So even before the Christianity we have, if it is now, really it is having real true effect on us, which means they came late. That is why we still have our culture. We still understand some of, there are still remnants of our culture that is remaining. Do you see the reason why we are falling back to our culture? These other people, sometimes you see them, you pity them. They don't have any culture to fall back to. If is it Britain that colonized them? If they vex for Europe, say no, we don't want European colonization. Now they say go back to your culture. Now they start writing Arabic, Ajami. They're thinking that is their culture. Do you see the dilemma they are, crossroad they are in? But we in the South, we still have remnants of our culture intact. Do you see it? Do you see the advantage we have? And we need to exploit it. We need to exploit it. That is why we are campaigning. They are trying to even come and impose on us another colonialism, which is Islamization or colonization through Islamization. So that as we are, instead of shouting in the name of Jesus, you start shouting Allah, 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 Allah Akbar. Double, they will infuse that double colonialism on you. Please, let us continue, please. What happened? What happened to my, I don't know. What I'm playing from, it just got, I hope they never attack it, please. Let me see. It's not coming again, but I will check it from another system to understand. I want to play this, please. I want to. It will come.
The religious group. I grew up in northern Nigeria.
I'm using another system. I don't know what is happening.
I was born a Muslim.
Listen,
I studied the Quran. I went to, if you have been to Niger State, Mina, if you know the institution called RET, Islamic Education Trust in Mina, controlled by Sheikh Ahmed Lemu. Those are the people that brought me up. They gave me scholarship. I went to that school in New Horizons College. I graduated there. I learned the Quran. I was a Muslim until I started traveling, and I decided to put religion aside. What I saw in northern Nigeria is that these people were colonized twice. They were first colonized by the Sokoto Caliphate through the Islamic Revolution. They were still under that colonialism, then the British colonialism came. So they are not in alignment with you in the South. You don't understand. They are operating. As long as Islam, though, for them, the vision for Nigeria is for Islam to triumph. That's the understanding for them. The destiny of Nigeria must lean toward Islamic revolution. That is the elite, the agenda. I'm not talking about the ordinary people on the street. They don't know what's going on. But the elite, that was the thinking of Usman Dan Fodio. That was the thinking of Sir Amadou Bello. That was the thinking of all this elite that came up. They designed, when they took over the army, you don't understand why they influenced the army in Nigeria. Their vision is to lead what Islamic revolution. Now, for you guys in the South, you had only one colonialism, which is the European. That's why there are people, Chris, John, Johnson, when you are tired of European colonialism, you fall back to your culture. They don't have no culture to fall back to. They only have Islamic extremism to fall back to when they are angry. That's why every riot in the north take an Islamic tune. Any fight, any fighting has to take an Islamic tune. They do not have any ideology or philosophy to fight with other than Islam. And this make you guys to live in two different planets, but yet you are trying to build a country.
Are you hearing him now? Now listen, that is where he contradicted himself. When he said, no, Pan-Africanism, we have a United States of Africa. So even if you live as separate, you still have all these bourgeois, all these elites being imposed, which is not true. But here, you listen to him.
For me, even as a Pan-Africanist who want Africa to be together, I can tell you that northern, southern Nigeria cannot survive.
Do you see it? No matter that he, as a Pan-Africanist, that he know that northern and southern Nigeria cannot survive together as a country. It's impossible. He confessed. That's why I left that place. I said, don't worry. You will see where he corrected himself. Please continue listening. Because at the end, we always have superior arguments. That is why we are IPOB. You see it. Continue listening.
I'm sorry to tell everyone, it will not survive.
I'm going to ask, Sekou, just for you to take a breath. You are indeed surprised a lot of us tonight. And when I say surprised, not because of the detailed in-depth of your own understanding of Nigeria, but the fact that we weren't expecting this long sort of, reorientation kind of. A lot of people were glued that it is actually coming from someone who is not a Nigerian. You sort of mesmerized us. And because of this, I think I chose right to end the program with you tonight, okay? So you seem to know even better. And using your own perspective now, understanding of the both world, and being an Africanist and all that, one of the things you said tonight that sort of got me a little bit emotional is to listen to a fellow African brother to express how disappointed. I actually saw your face dropped, right? When you said you are, as an African, as a Pan-Africanist, and somebody who has been to Nigeria, and situation of Nigeria today breaks your heart to see that Nigeria is tilting towards a total balkanization. That is something to an average Nigerian, which, as you know yourself, we don't give a damn anymore. It's like we have seen enough. It's like we are done. However, to somebody like yourself, looking from both within and from without, okay, and you can see, do you see a chance of this north-south to continue to coexist under this current arrangement? Whatever any solution anybody brings about, right? Do you even see that from your own experience? Because now you can tell, you have actually analyzed these fault lines between the north and the south, and we sort of saw them as blood lines for decades until the last 10 years, like you rightly sort of acknowledged. Last time, 10 years saw Nigeria and Nigerians taken to where a lot of us never envisaged, including the fault lines, the red lines, the north, the south. So 2024 and beyond, with what you know and what you have told us so far, you see Nigeria exist for another 10 years as the north and the south still, with the way things are going. I want to hear that.
I see. I'm not a prophet, okay, but we can look at the data and be able to say this is what we think will happen. I think that the fact here is that Nigeria is going to experience a very, very serious trouble. That's very obvious. Worse than.
Are you hearing it? That's why, many people in that zoo don't even understand what is happening and what is going to happen. They go their normal businesses as if nothing is happening. Please continue listening.
And it is right now. The reason being is that I spoke of the internal forces in Nigeria, and I just mentioned one, which is the religion, that is the ethnic side, which I have not touched. Now, if you look at, let's deal with that first internal problem, which is the religion. I follow one politician in Nigeria, in particular, who I love before Obi came on the scene. That was Showore, when he said, "Take it back." When he said revolution now, people didn't understand. Nigeria needs a revolution. And when we say revolution, it's not just people moving on the street or whatever, a transformation of thinking and transformation of institution, complete transformation.
How do you get this transformation? Real revolution occurs through even education. Just like when you are pumping a balloon, it will reach a breaking point. That is what this education that is being dished out through Radio Biafra and different channels is highly important. So that you continue absorbing until you reach a breaking point and you see people spilling now on, you see you can no more contain it. The other person can no more contain it. Now you say no. Instead of us continuing like this, that is the solution. We don't care about it again. That is when you have real and genuine revolution. Not going out on the streets without even knowing why. You are not equipped mentally. You cannot answer simple questions, on why you are doing what you are doing. You're only going out to loot, to maybe if you see a machine to break it and have some cash and run. No. That is not. When you equip people mentally by education, by educating them, now they will understand that look, what we are doing, we might not even reap the benefit, but we are doing it for generations coming to build a vibrant nation. That is why I privately, personally, I am against those that are saying no, don't talk about religion. It pains me a lot, honestly speaking. Why shouldn't we? So that we, make some people happy at the expense of our overall collective interests, whereby education is needed in order to equip ourselves, of mental weapons to fight the oncoming war. Are you hearing it? Let me finish it, please.
Now, that transformation, even if you do it the way Showore wanted, you will have to do it twice. You will do one revolution for Nigeria, then you will do another revolution for the North. Anything you do to Nigeria, you have to do it twice in the North before it will succeed. You take your NSAS, for example. When all of you in the South were running around to change the police, did you see the North move?
No.
You think they care? They did not move. They didn't see the North. As soon as you start protesting in Lagos, the Eastern Nigerians start to feel it immediately. They start to protest. When something happened to Mohbad, you see people talking. Watch the social media. When you see people start talking in Western Nigeria, it moves straight to the East. It moves straight to the other part. The North doesn't budge. It does not move. You need 2 times that revolution to bring the North into the picture. And said they are using this population democracy where who vote, the religious extremists in the North will continue to use these uneducated, illiterate people to continue to vote the wrong people in power. For that, they have taken Nigeria hostage. And those of you who want real change for Nigeria, they will isolate you. They will isolate you. They will make sure that you become the enemy of the state. And if you don't take time, they will eliminate you one by one until this pact that they created, South-North, which is a fake pact that they created. Buhari, then after that, Tinubu will rule, then another Yoruba. The truth is, the extremists in the North are looking for elements, religious, Islamic element in the Yoruba ethnic group to use them to destabilize that mighty people who have built empires like Oyo and other places long before anything. But they are looking for some weak elements. Like Tinubu is a weak element. People think he's powerful, but he's a weak element in the Yoruba war. These are the weak elements they want to use to be able to push the Islamic agenda. People have been telling you that Islamic agenda is a lie. No, it's true. I can tell you that I was born a Muslim. My people have been Muslim since the 7th century. I'm a Madinga. And we have been Muslim. There is nobody in my ethnic group who is Christian. All my people have been Muslim. And I studied Islam in northern Nigeria. And I'm telling you, the agenda is to push that country toward Islamic agenda or destroy it completely. So to your question, I will tell you that Nigeria does not have a bright future for now. It doesn't have a bright future for now. The elements that are in the north, and most of them are receiving grants. Some of them, even in university, they are getting grants from this Qatar, and all the extreme Islamic group are giving them money. And they are building, their power is increasing day by day in the political system. They are even creating billionaires that eventually tomorrow they want to control western part of Nigeria. The East a little bit stubborn for them. Eastern Nigeria is stubborn. That's why they are isolating them. The isolation of so-called Igbo, it's not because Igbo hate Nigeria. Igbos are the most Nigerian than any Nigerian. They are every part of Nigeria you find them. They have their own problem for sure, like every African group. But the issue, they are not the problem. But they are acting a little bit stubborn to the Islamic agenda. So they have to be isolated. And to do that, you need one of the most powerful group, which is the Yoruba group. If you don't use Yoruba, you can't succeed. And the Yoruba group is very educated. So what do? You look for the weak one among them, which is the Islamized ones, and play on their religious sentiment. And then you destabilize the country. I can tell you, my friends, you need a revolution, but you need two revolutions. If every African country needs one, Nigeria needs two.
And we are all ears tonight, Sekou. Honestly speaking, it's such a,
This is where I'm going to stop it, please. I say this is the tip on the high iceberg. I will touch on this topic as days go by, please. What we are talking about is to make sure that this continuous colonial legacy in Africa doesn't follow us to enter Biafra. Never. That is why we are accompanying our restoration efforts with education, educating the public, talking to the public. You that is hearing my voice after you say, Enna, when are you going to restore Biafra? Every time, talk. You are the most demented idiot and fool that ever exists. Do you know the fathers of America today, like Abraham Lincoln or George Washington, I could say? Do you know that they used to, in that 18th century, 17 something, they used to leave the colony, the America, through ship, because that time there was nothing like aircraft. They used to use steamship and sails, travel to Europe in order to attend the awakening conferences, that is teachings which you are enjoying today from the comfort of your bed. Do you know how important it is to them? For them to understand how to build a nation, which you are enjoying today in America. People risk their lives. Sometimes maybe going from America to Europe by that time, sea. They can spend 6 months on the sea, on the Atlantic. They are not going there to trade, no. They are going there only to listen to this message that we are preaching, that you are listening in your earphone today through IPOB community radio or through our FM. You call it nothing. People for 300-400 years back, they died. Many people died while trying to go to only to listen to this awakening message. because that message of awakening the Renaissance is what helped them to build America, to bring America, fight for America as a country, put America as a country, and now develop it with what is in their brain. They awaken the mindset. But today you see it as nothing because you commonize it, because you are getting it, talking, because you're a fool. You are a fool. The highest equipment, the highest weapon people can use in order to build or to resist outside influence is your head mentality. Awaken the mindset. That is the only thing. That is what Japan used. Japan closed Japanese archipelago, what they call it, group of islands, because that is what Japan is. They closed it for hundreds of years so that no going out, no coming in, so that their citizens don't hear any other foreign teaching. They continue hearing what is Japanese culture every day by day for more than 250 years. So that they born their parents die, they born their children hearing the same thing. Their children grow to adults, marry and grow old and die, and born others, and all to be hearing the same thing, Japanese, and it became part of them. So that when they opened up Japan for foreigners to start coming in, nothing you can do, nothing you can talk, it doesn't move them. That is why only 1%, according to statistics, 1% or less than, they are just Christians in Japan today. Do you know that? Do you know what it means? Do you know how important it is for people to fall back to who they are? Do you know what it is? That is when you can build a vibrant country that will be free from direct foreign influence, so that you can earn your space in this world and bring out your insights, be productive. Other countries will start respecting you. That is what we do. And that is what we preach. I will go into a few minutes break so that when I come back, I will open the lines so that people will start talking. Start calling in. Just few calls I will take, please, before I close this. This is just introduction. I will pieces this topic piece by piece. I say piece by piece in the coming days. Please do not go away. I'll be right back. Do not go away.
Examples of countries that have successfully separated and developed economically. History is rife with examples of countries that have successfully separated and developed economically. The USA, for instance, split from the UK in 1776 and has since grown into one of the world's leading economies. Belgium, too, separated from the Netherlands in 1830 and has thrived since then. And who can forget Singapore, who split from Malaysia in 1965, allowed it to transform into a global financial hub. One might argue that separation is an avenue for healthy competition for development. Cases in point are Singapore and Malaysia, India and Pakistan, and the triad of Norway, Denmark, and Switzerland. Each of these separations has led to a surge in development, with each nation striving to outdo the others. In the course of history, several nations have chosen the path of peaceful separation. East Timor, for instance, split off from Indonesia in 2002, marking a new chapter in its history. Similarly, Ireland severed ties with the United Kingdom in 1921, leading to the establishment of the Irish Free State. In 1944, Iceland chose to peacefully separate from Denmark, demonstrating that nations could part ways without resorting to violence. This tradition of peaceful separation was also evident in 1905, when Norway and Sweden decided to go their separate ways. One of the most notable examples, however, is the partition of the British India Dominion into India and Pakistan in 1947. Although plagued by communal violence, the actual process of partition was carried out through peaceful means, highlighting that even in the most challenging circumstances, peaceful separation is possible. These examples underscore the fact that nations can honorably separate from each other, fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. But let's not forget, separation is not about war. It's about recognizing when a union no longer serves its purpose and making the decision to opt out, just as Ireland did with the United Kingdom in 1921, and as Iceland did with Denmark in 1944 with remarkable ease. It's about giving peace a chance and separating honorably. Countries have also found power in rejecting the names imposed on them by colonizers. Burma became Myanmar, Upper Volta transformed into Burkina Faso, and Gold Coast emerged as Ghana. Each of these nations took control of their identity, and in doing so, set the stage for their own development. So, what does all this mean for Nigeria? It could mean that a peaceful separation is the key to resolving the current ethnicity crisis and spurring economic development. It could mean that a friendly competition between the North, West, and East could lead to significant progress for all. In summary, history shows us that peaceful separation can lead to economic development and resolution of ethnic crises. It shows us that there's nothing wrong with opting out of a union that no longer serves its purpose, and that doing so can, in fact, lead to a surge in growth and development. It shows us that taking control of one's identity, as many countries have done by rejecting their colonial names, can be a powerful catalyst for change. This then could be the roadmap for solving the Nigerian ethnicity crisis and spurring economic development. It's a path that requires courage and conviction, but one that could lead to a brighter future for all Nigerians. As we continue our exploration, we must understand that this proposition is not just a call for separation, but a comprehensive plan, a clarion call for Nigeria to embark on a transformative journey. The potential benefits of separation and restructuring are vast, and they include fostering lasting peace, regional autonomy, and collective prosperity. This transformative journey is about acknowledging the past, understanding the present, and shaping a better future. It's about recognizing that unity does not necessarily mean uniformity, but can also mean diversity in unity. It's about understanding that separation does not necessarily mean disintegration, but can also mean restructuring for better functionality. As we move forward, it's crucial for Nigeria to consider these possibilities, to weigh the potential benefits against the potential drawbacks, and to make decisions that serve the best interests of its people. This is not just a journey for Nigeria, but a journey for every Nigerian, a journey towards a brighter future, a journey towards a new dawn.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Olu province of Biafra London. We are here live and direct. Today is the 14th day of February 2024. That's about Bochiafo. Our lines are now open. I will just take 2 or 3 calls, please, because time is gone. I started late, combined with a technical difficulty which I encountered. I didn't know why before I can really start broadcasting, but we must continue. Our lines are now open and our direct line is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. Remember, what we are doing is the most important part of this restoration effort, which is education, awareness, awakening. Because what we have tried to live as Nigerians, but it's not possible. It becomes fake life to us. What we are trying to do is trying to opt out of a union that is no more serving its purpose. That is what we are doing. Therefore, we are committing no crime at all. Therefore, I will pick this caller on direct line. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Welcome to the program. Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Yes, go on, please. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp. Please go on.
Mazi, I'm very happy to speak on Radio Biafra this evening, and I want to tell all Biafrans, all out here, because what Mazi has been preaching for many years now is what is happening now. He's crying, and there is nothing the zoo can do unless they release Mazi Nnamdi. Mazi Nnamdi must be out for them to have peace in that contraction called Nigeria. So now this voice you have played in Radio Biafra was a very wonderful one, and a turned to all the Sioux and the Biafrans particularly. And I would like if you can send it in all platform, WhatsApp platform, you can share it for those who cannot listen to this radio this evening. So we can have it in our home, we can have it everywhere, and we can scratch it all around the corner so that our people will understand what is happening. Despite of we have many things like this audio. Only that our people, some of them are they forget easily. They hear what we are saying, what our people are saying, they will forget easily. But what I want to tell all Biafrans to remain resolute. Our leadership remain resolute, and Biafra is here. Mazi Nnamdi must be released. They must release Mazi Nnamdi for them to have peace in contraction called Nigeria. And Biafra referendum will be around the corner. So Mazi, I don't have much to say.
There were Mazi Paul. There were. Thank you. Caller on direct line, I brought you back. Can you hear me? Caller on direct line.
There were. Good evening, brother.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you, brother. My own contribution will be very brief, and I will be just make it brief. Now, it is very. Are you hearing me?
The whole world is hearing you. Please go on. Go on.
Okay, Mazi. Sorry. It is very, very, very. I would say interesting, funny, and at the same time sad that somebody who is not a Nigerian has stayed in one corner, analyzed exactly what we are going through. And why it is funny and sad is it is disappointing that so many people, our people don't even know what is going on. And an outsider has summarized the picture, has just painted a picture of everything that is happening in Nigeria in less than 10 minutes on Maegu's program. Now, the annoying part of it, Bo, the main reason why I'm calling, Bo, one of the leaders in this that clip, and I made a comment. I don't see the rationale. I don't see why people are against this religious emancipation when our freedom fighters are preaching and try to bring people from mental slavery, religious mental slavery. I don't know why some people are kicking against it. Look at somebody who has lived in the north. Look at somebody who has studied Quran and who has gotten exposition, dumped the religion, and is giving us a picture of what is going on in our land. And yet, some people are saying, I have to go do religious fight. Now I'm going with the freedom and it is confusing to me. I don't know. I can't place it in my head. So the thing is, Mazi, I thank you so much. I want you to continue to replaying that thing. Let it keep going into the brain of our people because I know Namiri Manancha Abago Anyanya. A lot is going on. Our people don't know. Dalo Mazi. There
were Mazi. Thank you very much. There were, and I think as time is no more on our side, even in Biafra land, I think by now it should be to 11 p.m. Almost 11 p.m. 8 minutes to 11 p.m. You know, so I think we close the program, and from day to day, I will be coming in with this topic and picking it one after the other. Today is just introduction, as I said. Therefore, as I said, I'm not going to take any other calls. But let us understand that mental emancipation is very, very important. What our enemies don't want is for us to emancipate mentally. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there, suffering. That is why Britain left him as their citizen. Because they know that this is a wise man opening people's mind. You understand me? So they can't bear it. They can bear you, insulting them or stealing money, and they don't care. But when you want to steal souls under their captivity, that is where they come after you. Because when you are opening the eyes of people through awakening, through your preaching, they know that you are a stumbling block to them. You understand? Because once people's eyes are opened, that is the worst nightmare to the colonizers. That is their worst nightmare. That is why they left in Nigeria. They left religion to be going haywire. They don't care. Just anything. A country like Nigeria, anything the government just leave to function freely before God and man. Question that thing. How they left everybody? God called me. Every nook and crannies in Biafra land, in Lagos, in many parts of that, you have churches everywhere, and the government is in support. They don't care. Gather, as long as their people are being deceived, telling you that their problem is from one spirit called Satan, devil. The government is happy. They want churches to be increasing by the day, because it removes people's mentality from the reality. And somebody said, and that is the truth. Once you are into religion, it's just like when you smoke drug. As a drunkard, you drink away your sorrow. When you are there shouting Holy Ghost fire, you beat Satan, you kill Satan. For you have finished everything. You claim power. Come outside. When you reach your home, you continue the same problem. You reach your home, no electricity. You face the reality. Go on generator, they tell you no fuel or no diesel. Diesel no day. Now, how can you go by now? It's darkness everywhere. You can move out and they kidnap you and kill you. So you face the reality. That drug you took in the church now start removing from your eyes small. Before the day break, you want to be down on the toes. You have Bible study. You go back more for you to be sedated again. To smoke more, sniff more, in order for you to forget the reality. You forget that the whole power is in your hand. Now you decree everything. After, when you finish that idiocy that you think that you're on top of the world, you come back home, you see now fuel still there for 700 naira per liter. Hey, kerosene no dey, electricity no dey. NEPA don't take light since 2 days ago. Now you face reality. You want to enter your house, you don't know, you hit your here. Hey, get the reality. You understand? But you start binding Satan. This is something they use. It's a very big weapon. You understand? That is why I call it continuous colonial legacy in Africa in general and in Nigeria in particular. We will continue treating on this. Thank you for listening. As I said, today will be brief, and it is brief. And Biafra is our religion. Biafra is everything we have. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening.